Hello students, dear board aspirants of class 12th, today we are going to start the first poem of your poetry section from the Flamingo book, My Mother at 66. So dear students, before going ahead in the poem, let us see what the poet want to highlight through this poem. Let us discuss the theme of the poem. Actually, the main theme of the poem is aging is a natural process. Aging is what? Aging is a natural process. All the human being are what? All the human being are, they are decaying with the passage of time. As the time passes, they are decaying. Aging is a natural process. It is, human life is divided into several stages. Like the infancy, the first stage of human life, the newly born baby. After that, the school going children, then adulthood, then oldhood. So oldhood is mainly discussed in this poem. Oldhood is also called the second childhood of human life. Why? Because how a child is totally dependent on his parent during his childhood days. In the same way, the old people are also dependent over their children for all their need. So see here, before you start the poem, it is mentioned aging is a natural process. Have you ever thought what our elderly parents expect from us? Have you ever thought? The poet is leaving us with a question. Have you ever thought what our elderly parents expect from us? Our elderly parents are not expecting that they should be given the money, they should be given the comfort and luxury. What they are expecting? They are expecting that they should be accompanied by their children. They should be treated affectionately and lovingly. This is the expectation of elderly people. So we are going to start the poem. This poem is composed by one of the prominent Indian writer, Kamala Das. This poem is composed by Kamala Das, who was born in Malabar, Kerala. She is recognized as one of the India's foremost poet. She is one of the prominent Indian poet and she has composed this beautiful poem. So we are going to start from the first stanza of this poem. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, doors open mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with the pain. So the first stanza is describing that the narrator who has returned to her mother during her vacation time. When her vacation was over, she was returning to her workplace. While driving with her mother from her home, from her native place to the Cochin airport, she had seen her mother, who was sitting just at the co-driver seat. She had seen her mother. She was looking very old. She was as old as she cannot grow more older. She was very old. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me. She had seen her mother who was sitting beside her. She had seen that she was looking very old. Doors open mouth, her face ashen like that. Doors open mouth. Her mouth was partially open. She was in sleep and her mouth was partially open. Open mouth, her face ashen like that. Her face ashen like that. It seems like her face was having no any sign of living expression. She was very old. There were wrinkled and crisscross all over her body, all over the skin. She was very old and her face appears like ashen, like any non-living object of a corpse, and realized with the pain. Her face is compared like a corpse, like a dead body. How a person is dead, so his face become aloes. And his face become aloes and it seems like the person is dead. In the same way, because of being very old, the mother who was looking like a corpse, like a dead one, and that she was as old as she looked, but soon put the thoughts away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their home, but after the airport security check standing a few yards away. And she was very old. She was as old as she looked. It means that she was so old, she cannot grow more older. She was at the extreme old age and put the thoughts away and looked out at the young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their home. But these all the thoughts that was moving in the narrator's mind. She thought that her mother was very old and maybe it could be possible that she would not be able to see her mother at her next visit because she could die. So these thoughts were giving her pain. So in order to divert her mind, she started looking outside of the window. She started looking outside. What she had seen, the trees sprinting, the moving tree. the moving trees. As you have seen that when we are traveling by any vehicle, by any car, it seems like all the trees are running back. All the objects are moving along with us. The same situation is there. The trees are sprinting. She has seen the running trees. The running trees here indicating the fast pacing time. As one well known things are there about the time. Time flies on wings. Time passes so rapidly. So trees is sprinting. That sprinting trees shows what? The fast running time. The merry children, the happy children spilling out of their homes. Some children are there who are coming out of their home in group and they are playing outside. They are looking very happy. Those children who are spilling out of their home in the group and playing outside, those children shows the childhood days. That once there had been a time, the narrator, her mother, everybody, they used to be a child, and how the time passes. With the passage of the time, they enter into the next stage of human life, then oldhood, then adulthood, like this. So that running trees shows the time, indicating the fast running time, and the merry children, that shows the childhood days. But after the airport security check, and when she finally reached to the airport security check, when she reached to the airport, and after going through the security check, she looked at her mother's wan pale as late winter's moon and felt the old familiar ache of my childhood fear. She had looked at her mother Alois face. Her mother's Alois face, that is compared to the moon. That is compared to the moon. See, the comparison is made between two objects. I looked again at her wan pale as a late winter moon. See, the comparison is made between two objects of having at least one common point. Like, so, and as is used. See, as is used here. If comparison is made between two objects of having at least one common point, and comparative words like, so, and as are used, then poetic device will be simile. The simile poetic device is used here for making comparison of mother's face with the moon. As in the winter season, the moon appears fade. It is covered with the fog, and it is covered with the mist and fog. In the same way, the mother face that appears very Alois like the winter's moon, and felt the old familiar ache of my childhood fear. By seeing that her mother condition, her extreme old age, the narrator started feeling her childhood fear, the familiar ache, very known pain, very known ache that she used to have when she was a small child. As the small children, when they are very small, they are just accompanying their mother, accompanying their parents everywhere, wherever they are going. So the same is there, because they are fear of losing their parents. The same is there. The childhood fear is recalled. The childhood fear is recalled. She is remembering her childhood fear of losing her mother. But all I said was, see you soon, Amma. All I did was smile, smile, and smile. But all he said, what? See you soon, Amma. She was optimistic here. She was what? Optimistic, positive. She was hoping, she was expecting that the next time when she will visit, she will be able to see her mother. And finally, she had given one optimistic smile, that she smiled, smiled, and smiled. See, the same word is repeated more than one time. When in any text, the same word is repeated more than one time, then poetic device repetition is there. See, the repetition poetic device is used here. Smile, smile, and smile. And finally, she smiled. She had given one positive view, one optimistic view. And see, some word meaning are discussed here. One, colorless, sprinting, short, fast running, that I have already discussed. That is indicating the time. And the poem is over here. And conclusion of this poem, that aging is a natural process. All those people who are born on this earth, one day they have to die, because death is the final destiny of human life. It is the ultimate goal of human life. But we are connected with feeling and emotion with each other. So we are feared of losing our beloved one. So the same is there with the narrator. When she had seen her mother, she was extreme old. She was feared of losing her mother, and she was feeling that kind of pain of separation, which was inescapable, which was unbearable. But she had diverted her mind, and she became optimistic, and she did smile, smile, and smile. She was convincing herself, and she was becoming positive that her mother will be with her at her next visit. So some questions are given there that can be answered on the basis of the explanation which just I have given you. What is the kind of pain and ache the poet feels? The poet feels the kind of pain, which kind of pain? Pain of separation which is inescapable. And why are the young trees described as sprinting? Because that shows the fast running time. Time flies on wings. That how fast the time is running. Why are the young trees? That young days, how the person is young, and after that how he is passing through the different stages of human life, and one day he is reaching at the last stage of human life, that is oldhood. And why has the poet brought the image of merry children spilling out of their home? Merry children, the happy children who are coming out of their home in the group, they are playing. That shows the childhood days. The childhood days, that how happy it was, how the children are very happy. But one day with the passage of the time, everything will decay and they will be also getting old. Why has the mother being compared to the late winter's moon? The mother is compared with the late winter's moon because in the winter season the moon is covered with the fog and mist, so it lights that become fade and dim. In the same way, her mother face is also very dim. There is no light over her face because she was extreme old. What do the parting word of the poet and her smile signify? The parting word, when she was moving away to the from the Cochin airport, and last time she had seen her mother, so the parting word, that was smile, smile and smile. Through those words she was showing her optimism, her positivity. The parting words of the poet and her smile signify that she was thinking in a very positive way that she would be able to see her mother. And these are the questions that is based on the explanation of the poem. The theme we have already discussed. Hope so that the poem is very clear. I will meet you in the next video with the next poem, and hope that you have liked it and your concept will be more clear about the poem after going through this video. Thank you everyone. Thank you.